Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We are here today with the folks from, let me say this right, Documo. I think I got it right. It took me a minute. So, all right, I don't know. For some reason, I've been saying Documo, but it's actually Documo, like a document. I think you were telling me, right?
That's correct. We're a cloud-based document company, software company. So
Okay.
it's
Excellent. Well, I am joined today with Tony Cox, who is the Director of Partnership Sales with Documo. And I'm also joined with Dave Arkin, who is the Account Manager with Documo. So welcome, guys.
Thanks, Scott. It's great to be here. We appreciate the time and the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing to do this with me. So there is a huge need for people, to clients, to be able to send confidential information, and email just doesn't cut it. So I'm really excited to learn about the solution available at hand here. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys real quick. I always ask everybody what the weather's like because everybody's always in different locations. Tony, I think you're in San Diego, California, right?
That's correct. I'm in sunny San Diego. It's probably 78 degrees and sunny. I think
Okay.
it's 8 degrees and sunny like 355 days a year and 10 days of gloom and maybe a day or two of rain. But it's great.
I gotcha. Okay, okay. Well, Dave, you are on the other side of the country in New Jersey,
Mhm.
right?
That's correct. Yeah. And the weather here is beautiful today. We've actually been pretty lucky so far this summer. It hasn't been really hazy, hot, and humid like it always is, but these past couple days have kind of caught up a little bit, but been enjoying some great golf weather over here.
Okay, okay. Well, Dave, I'm not too far from you. I'm certainly on the same coast as you, just down a little bit. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. So very good, very good. I've kind of got a little bit of same kind of weather as you, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It's always humid here down here. We
Yeah.
just can't escape the brutal humidity. So, well, let's get into talking about Documo and finding about the solution. So, Tony, you want to start and tell us a little bit about the company in general and how you guys were founded? And
Yeah.
okay,
So we've been in business just over 8 years. Our CEO is probably, I know he is the smartest person I've ever met in person. And he saw that there was a gap in the market in the cloud fax market for like a truly reliable, resellable white label solution that was as modern and feature rich as like some of the VoIP offerings and other things that people are selling to their clients out there. So he started this company in 2014. Fast forward to today, we're at 50 employees or so, 50, 51. And our customer success team is all located in the United States. We have employees across every time zone. As you can see, I'm on the West Coast, David's on the East. The solution's HIPAA compliant. We sign BAAs with our partners so they can sign a BAA with their healthcare customers when they request it. What else? What else am I missing, Dave?
I think one of the big keys was that we are fax-based only, so we don't carry voice on our system, and it creates us to be much more reliable. That's one of the key points that I always like to point out.
okay. And you will sign a BAA. So that's excellent. I heard you say that.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Like,
Okay.
one of the biggest verticals for cloud fax is still it's healthcare, obviously, and anything that's regulated, legal, government, insurance, et cetera. But for healthcare customers, they do require BAs to be signed. And we're more than happy to do that for our partners so they can do that with their customers and land those healthcare deals.
Great. Well, I know it's a major hurdle that IT solution providers like myself have to come up with when we're dealing with HIPAA entity clients that have got to send confidential information or patient health information. They need to get it to another destination and they don't want to email it. Why is it not okay to email those things?
On a HIPAA legal side, I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you that you've heard of email scandals as high as into the White House where
Yeah.
emails were compromised, but you never hear the fax scandal that a fax has been compromised because it just doesn't get compromised. So it's still the most secure way to send a document from one point to another, and that's why
Okay.
healthcare or any like government agency. That's why they still fax a lot.
Yeah, and for people in IT that don't do a lot of healthcare, I guess they don't see that because it's all email. Like if I think, we certainly have a couple medical clients, but if I think, if I think fax, it kind of goes back to the old days that, we had that thermal paper and you couldn't leave it on your dash or it would actually turn black and you couldn't read anything on it. It was really, I guess those were the good old days when faxes were actually very commonplace. But no, so you guys actually eat, sleep, and breathe faxes. So that's excellent. That's excellent. Well,
we do, our entire network is optimized for fax. We use every fax protocol written. There's zero voice traffic mixed in there, and as most people know, that voice and fax don't work well together. So there's zero voice on our network. And I'll just verbally kind of go through what our solution offers, and then we're going to jump into a screen share with Dave and kind of show folks what the solution looks like. So our HIPAA compliant white label fax solution includes a very modern, feature-rich portal that the reseller will have, a master reseller portal where they can log in. It'll have their logo, a custom URL with their company name, their color scheme that matches their company. So to their customers, it'll appear as if they built it from the ground up. They can also use email to fax, fax to email. The email domain will also be customized by you guys with your DNS records. So like, for example, our retail one is fax number at mfax.send.io. They will customize that, have their company name in the domain.
Okay.
Customers can also download a print to fax driver application on a Windows computer, so they can fax quickly from the print screen without having to log in. And then last piece is we do support one piece of hardware. It's called a fax bridge. It's for those customers that really, really want to keep their physical fax machines, like the one I have sitting right here. You port over the landline, you plug in the 4.5 by 5.5 inch little box with a RJ11 to the machine, give it an internet connection on the other side with an Ethernet cable and then a power source. And then the fax machine will work just as the customer's used to. They can walk up, put the paper face down, dial the number, hit the green button, and watch it go out. The enhancements are when someone's faxing that customer with that fax machine, they're never going to hear a busy signal again. And two, if they run out of paper or toner or choose to turn off inbound printing to protect confidential records or documents coming in because they're away from the office, they will still get a notification that the fax has arrived. They can log into the portal securely from any location they have an internet connection where they can view the fax, print it, download it, archive it, host it to a webhook, to an FTP, SFTP endpoint. There's lots of different options. So it enhances their workflow. So those are the four things. And we're gonna now that I've verbally kind of told you, Dave's gonna screen share, go through the portal. We're gonna kind of skim over some sections, but keep in mind, if anybody's interested in seeing more in detail, later on, we'll give you my info and we could schedule an actual live demo where we can go in more detail in each section and kind of review everything.
Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get the portal up. Give me just a moment here.
Okay.
Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So as you guys can see, this is the login screen. So as Tony had mentioned, you're going to create your own unique URL up to the top for your customers to log in. And you notice we just branded this specific one version so we can kind of show the difference, but you would put your logo in here. Simply, we're going to just sign in from here. So once you're in, again, the logo carries over to over here, but also if you notice on my tab itself, the logo is actually up top there too. So this really gives you guys a great capability to be able to really brand everything as you see you want it branded, right? So it's your company branding, or as we refer to, white label. So first thing I'm going to do is simply send a fax. It's pretty easy and straightforward. As you can see, as we logged in, I landed right on my fax page itself. Here is the number that's associated with whatever my login is. Just going to quickly copy and paste this right over here for us. It gives us capabilities to do a couple different things. I'm able to add a recipient's email. This will actually notify them that they're getting a fax. It's not sending anything via email.
Okay.
We have some rich cover pages that we're able to use. We do include 4 system cover pages. You can choose whether you want them to be displayed or not, depending on your customer's needs. You have the capability of doing no cover page. Obviously, we had some of our items disappear when I did no cover page, but if I choose a cover page, I'm able to now add some information just directly from this screen right into the cover page itself. So let me just type in a few little things real quick here. And then one of the other features that we have is we're able to tag each fax. So people who have a lot of different departments or a lot of people using the system want to keep a good organization, and we do that via tags. So each fax can be tagged. Again, we'll have some basic system ones in here, but you can simply create your own tag by hitting this plus sign. For this, we're just going to say cardiology is my department. So we're tagging the fax that way. I'm now able to literally just click here and drag and drop my file right within there. And then I have 3 ways I can send it. I can straight up just send this out. I could also send at a later date. If you notice, we have this little symbol right here. This symbol will show up in our history page, indicating that it's not sent yet and give you a time. But my favorite feature by far is previewing it. I'm sure somebody out there has probably sent a incorrect attachment in an email. It's terrible when we do that. So I always preview it, make sure I have the right attachment on there. This way the correct information goes out. But I also like to kind of show you here, the subject is test, my name is David, and then my notes are test. That's what I filled in as I was going through the faxing.
Okay.
So
nice.
Simply just send it itself, right? So we're going to give this a moment. This will say, do I want to actually go and view this? Or excuse me, check the status, or do I want to just go back to my business as usual? For our purpose, we're going to go check that status. Jumps me right to my history page. So I can now see it's still in the transmitting stage. A green check would indicate that it was successfully sent, or a red X would indicate that it failed for some reason. As Tony mentioned, there are no busy signals for our incoming once you're in the portal itself, but you still could be sending a fax to a standalone fax machine that could ultimately be busy. So, that would kind of basically indicate what the status of it is.
Okay, very nice.
So that's within our history page, which obviously is one down from here. Just a quick area too here. All our menus are generally going to be on the right side. This particular one has the 3 dots, or a hamburger menu as it's referred to. Yep. This is everything I can do with this specific fax, right? We can just mark it as read, view and print, download it. I can actually split it. So if somebody had 10 or 12 pages and they had to go to separate areas of your company, we could split it and decide where the specific one goes. Okay. We also have a bunch of information that goes with each fax. So this is important in the HIPAA compliance. It shows me my delivery IDs, my dates, whether it was successful or not, and just everything that goes along with the fax itself. This will live on our system for 12 months. So ultimately enabling you to, even if the fax is deleted, you can still pull this information through reporting.
Okay.
And that's basically our hit.
We just got the green check, so it went through and was successful.
Right. So now if I go to my all, since I faxed myself, you have 2. You have one outbound and one inbound. And then just to show you real quick about the tags, right, how easy it is to filter, you notice I have 2 on this specific page that say cardiology. Obviously, if we have a larger amount, I can simply just go back into here. I can put this tag on there, and these are the only ones that will show within my history page. So easy to go find a specific fax or keep good track of your different departments. If I X that out, go back to my full history. And as we go down, we have the cover pages. As I mentioned, we do have 4 system cover pages we put in there. You can choose at a account level whether or not these will show. And then we have our account ones, if you want to create one specifically for the account. And then I have my personal cover pages down here. So I can take one of my account pages or my system and create it to be one of my own cover pages also. And then, we do allow for editing on these. So we have a good editor within there. It enables you to really just kind of go down to the level and change whatever you'd like within the cover page itself. All right, so obviously numbers, we're able to port any type of numbers over. We're able to provision new numbers if you'd like, depending on your use case. Pretty straightforward on that, just like porting any number would be the same kind of process here. You just have to have the matching information. We submit it. General ports are going to take between 7 and 10 business days to get over.
On the provisioning of the numbers, we can provision any local or toll-free fax DID in the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico with just a couple clicks of a button there. So if a customer doesn't have a fax number, and then in a new one, you can get them a local or toll-free one within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks. And then Tony mentioned the fax bridges. Pretty straightforward, just a device you're plugging into your existing fax machine, and it basically puts the fax into our system. And as Tony mentioned, we can use the fax as business as usual, sending and receiving, or we could just do it where someone can send from there. If you want to protect your information and not necessarily have it print out, it'll always still live in the history page that I showed you earlier.
So let me get this straight. The fax bridge is another piece of hardware that integrates with a traditional fax machine that would allow it, basically the Documo, the Documo platform, to read it and keep up with it, and that system as well. So it's virtual and hardware based. So that's what the bridge does.
That's correct, right? Yeah. So now you're able to do both, right? So it's a backup system in the sense that if your machine jams or something breaks, it's always still within the portal too. So you can really do it both ways.
Okay. And like you guys said, there's a print driver as well that you could actually show up as a printer they could fax right from their workstation.
Correct. That would be on a Windows-based device. So I don't know if I have it set up on my device, but basically you would simply go and say, I want to print. And once you do this, one of the options in the download would be to fax it. And it'll pull like from your contacts that live within the portal also. Okay.
So it goes in and sets up a fax driver for it as well, like a virtual fax on the machine. Got it.
It's very similar to installing a print driver, right? So you're installing it, and it's as easy as I'm going to show you how to pull it. It's very, very simple. You do have to be logged in as the user itself is the only one that could pull an API key. But basically, if you notice down here, it says API. If I'm clicking that, I'm just creating a new API key, and we're going to do it at the print driver. And if I create this, I'm not going to create another one, but it'll just live right here. All I do is copy this, and I'm just installing it like a regular print driver onto my machine. It's very easy and straightforward to use. And again, it will still live within your history, right? So if I send one from my say Word, it will still be something that I could go and view within the history page, as something that was sent. Nice. All right. So the other part is, obviously doing, the different users and accounts. So we have the capability, obviously, this is where all your accounts would live. And then, your users would be down here. We have a couple different levels of users. We have an admin level, which has access to pretty much everything that you've been seeing me go through now. But we do have a limited access as a user. What I'm going to do is sign in as one to kind of show you the difference. So if you guys look over here, you can kind of see the menu that I'm working with now. Once I actually sign in as a user, just give me a moment to do that. I'm going to sign in as this person. And you notice it still has the original logo up here. I'm going to now sign in, and you'll notice a lot different when it comes to the menu, right? So I'm limited to just fax, history, cover page. My API key is where I pull my print driver, and obviously contacts. So that's something that, gives you the capability of really just limited access to the portal. So this way, you don't have everybody's hands mixing something up and changing how your workflow is going.
It's a very clean GUI and interface. And one thing that I've got to compliment you on, it's very fast. Yeah. When you're working inside of the window, it's just, right on it. That's perfect.
Right. And I'm obviously on a Zoom call too. So that's using a lot of my resources now too.
There you go.
Obviously that's a good thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, one of the things I wanted to kind of go into too is the branding. Just real quick to kind of show you the process. Tony had mentioned a couple of the different URLs, but I want to kind of just physically show you that so you can kind of get a better idea. Obviously, the first thing I'm going to show is your settings, account settings, and then branding. So the user itself has their own settings, but you do have the capability on the account level to sometimes change different things. One of the things that we do have the capability of doing is notifications. So if I'm on my account level settings and I go down, one of the items we have is to be able to notify when you send a fax and when you get a fax, right? It's important to know that the information is there for you to go work. So with our notifications, we can allow attachments in the email. So basically the fax can be sent to your email. Now, that is something that we are encrypted on our side. Obviously, the user has to be encrypted on their side for it to be still secure. But let's say, just hypothetically, that the account does not want that to happen. So if I'm, again, on my account settings, I can just simply toggle this allow attachment in the email notifications to off, and then users would not be able to change that. Now, they're still able to get an email saying you have a fax waiting, or yes, your fax just went out and was successful, and they can customize it to the point where it's none at all. They can say everything that happens or just success or failed faxes. And that will give them the capability of really doing that. But that's something that you have the capability of really changing at an account level. So a user would have to kind of go along with that. Gives you a little bit more control.
Nice.
All right, so the branding area. This will really allow complete customization of colors, logos, icons. I'm going to go through it rather quickly, but we would basically, we have different videos that kind of could walk you through this and stuff like that. But basically putting in some different supporting information, like where you'd want a support email to go. During your porting process, if there's information, you would be emailed to this specific information. And we always want to mask the invite to a user. But over to the right here, I have icons and logos. So you kind of noticed me pointing to my logo up here and my icon here. So whatever I put in here is basically what you guys would be showing here and then up top on the tab itself. We do a light and a dark. As you noticed when I signed in as a user, we do have a dark mode or the light mode. I'm a little more preference to the dark mode myself personally. It's just easier to use myself. But again, everybody's preference there. So you would fill these in and that would actually be what's here or up top. Then as I go down, we allow some OAuth, so Google or Microsoft sign-in, so two-factor authentication it can be used, and then obviously your Dropboxes and stuff like that to pull information within there. But then at the very bottom, we allow you to really change the color theme, right? So if you have a specific primary color that you want, you can fill it in here, or you can just go with some of the standard themes that we have. And if you notice, as I'm touching it, like the different colors are changing up top here. And then you're able to change your different logos. So for instance, the fax tab itself that you see up here just says F. If I wanted to fill out my logo or my icon on here, whatever I put in here would actually take place of that right up there. And the last part of branding is going to be the domain. So basically, we assign a subdomain for the white label company to sign in and work with. But here you're going to create your own custom domain. So basically the URL that your customers will log into. We do have a SSL provisioned already, but if you choose, you wanted to use your own. I've learned just more recently that obviously if I see this little lock up here at the top, the SSL is provisioned and working well. So an easy, quick test to show. And then the email notification domain and email to fax. So basically the notifications that I showed you in the account level settings, you're going to create a domain here for that email to come from. It obviously, you're just creating the domain itself. It's still sent from our system, but would mask and show whatever specific domain you have here. And then if you do want your clients to be able to send via email, which is one of the other features that we do have, you would now create a new domain right within here. So pretty straightforward. We do have this great little video that you can watch that's about 12 minutes long, shows basically the full setup through this. And then one of the features that we always like to offer is someone like myself to really be able to walk you through what we call an onboarding. So basically what I just did was an onboarding flow. I didn't get into a lot of detail with some of the areas which I would do during the onboarding, but we're happy to really teach you how to teach your customers and stuff like that. And then we, basically can go over, what the right setup is.
Very nice.
And that's basically kind of what I had to show. Tony, was there anything that you think I might have missed that you want me to jump into here?
Yeah, just go down to the show them where the help center is, and I'll just talk about it. So
okay, perfect.
If he hits his initials bottom left corner, he'll see help, and then there's options here. If he hits help center, it's going to take everybody to our website where there's screenshots and videos on how to do almost anything and everything they would need to know. But if they're going to want to talk to someone, he'll hit more help there, and you can start a live chat. And like I said, all our customer success team is all US based. They're spread across every time zone. They will answer anyone within 3 minutes, is like the guarantee during business hours, which is 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. They'll also have a dedicated account manager assigned to them, more likely to be David here, who you can get a hold of for anything, be the first point of contact. There's also a US number you could call. We'll answer the phone and here in the United States live. So we're very, very customer hands-on, very responsive. We like to take care of our customers very quickly and make sure that things are running smooth. So that's a big part of who we are, is being very responsive and very helpful, and putting on the white glove and rolling out the red carpet like Dave does every single time.
That's perfect.
The last part I just want to add too is we really encourage our product team encourages everybody to give us their feedback. You feel there's something missing out of the portal, or we could do something better. We're not going to know that unless you give us the feedback. You're actually able to schedule a call with our product team. Looks like they must have to change that. Since I'm on a demo unit, it doesn't go in, but it'll give you basically a Calendly link and let you log time with our product team to kind of give us feedback or tell us we'd love to see A, B, or C within the portal itself. So we're always improving what it does and how it works using the feedback from our customers. And then just to add to that, we have feature requests that you can just put in if you don't want to talk to the team itself. And then we always try to give you what's new, try to show you what we've increased, what we've done to the portal that makes it a little bit better.
Excellent.
And that's kind of what we have for you today. Tony, any closing statements?
No, like Dave said, we could schedule a demo for anybody that wants to see more. We can go in every section in more detail, show you how to run a report. There's a reporting tool. You can run a detailed summary, a billing report for one of your customers, all of your customers. All that data could be exported via a CSV file into your third-party billing system. And then I'll be happy on the demo to share wholesale rates with you guys. And keep in mind that we have special pricing for IT business owner group members. It's better than what we give the public, so it's great. There's a good discount, and you start on better monthly wholesale pricing right out of the gate, regardless of how many fax customers you have. So I'd be more than happy to share that with anybody. And Scott, should I say how to get a hold of me now, or?
Yeah, well, so if we've got viewers that are watching and want to sign up, or they're interested in learning more about this solution, what's the best way for them to do that?
So 2 different ways. You can send me an email directly, tony.cox, TONY.COX @Documo, DOCUMO.com, or feel free to call me. My direct line is area code 858-252-1780. Either way.
Sounds great. Well, I am excited to dive in and learn more about this. So thank you guys so much for the time today. And I will chat with y'all next time.
Appreciate it, Scott.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.